Hey, what's up? It's Will checking in. I got
Trusted RICO in the building.
Alright, so we're on our third interview for the Sneaker Magazine, and Rico, he gave us the pleasure to meet with him so we can get to know Rico a little bit more and just about his life and the shop and stuff. So, first of all, Rico, just tell us a little bit about yourself, like age, like where you grew up, or how you grew up and stuff like that.
Okay, let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trusted RICO. I am 31 years old. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I went to Morris Middle School. I went to Marisma High School. I'm just a regular kid from around the way. I like cars. I love shoes. I am blessed at the moment to own a business, which is Trusted Kicks. At the moment, I'm gonna ask Chad to close the door so we don't get so much interference from outside. But you know how it goes. I went to college at Tennessee State. I majored in criminal justice and mass communications. At the moment, I do have enough credits to get my master's, but I never finished my thesis, so I have a master's. But if I go down there, they wouldn't give me a master's degree, so that's just some college stuff. But I really don't care at the moment because I really consider myself to be a serial entrepreneur. I like to try several businesses. One that everybody probably knows about is Trusted Kicks. I met Whit a long time ago selling shoes, so Whit knows how this shoe game goes.
Yeah, I definitely do.
But that's basic, basic beginning about me.
Yeah. Okay, so Rico, what got you into selling sneakers?
The main thing that got me into selling sneakers was that when I was in college and when I was in high school and middle school, everything I did for my whole life and existence was to buy sneakers.
Oh, okay.
So I always had jobs where I was doing cutting grass, carrying golf bags, and all that led back to sneakers. So once I got old enough and I was sitting at my desk one day at work, I'm like, hey, my friends like to buy shoes and they don't like to wait in line. I love waiting in line.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with getting the shoes to them and getting the money from them, which kind of started the whole little business.
Okay. So at what point did you know that you wanted to open up a sneaker shop?
One of the major things that made me want to open a sneaker shop is when I started traveling. When I was in college, I used to go to all these cities and say, hey, I don't like going to Foot Locker as much because Foot Locker has every shoe is the same in every city. So I was like, hey, if every city had a unique store where you could come to and find unique things, it'll be dope.
Yeah.
Fast forward to where we are now, a lot of cities have stores like this. So when I was in Nashville, I said, hey, I can open one in Nashville where I was in college at, or I can come back home, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where everybody loves me, everybody knows me, I know everybody else, and I can open a store here. I've been blessed to have the downtown location, which is close to the new Bucks arena.
Yeah.
So I was telling one of my friends that if the Bucks get a new arena, I'm gonna get up tomorrow and go find a store downtown Milwaukee, somewhere in Milwaukee. Maybe particularly hoping for downtown. Fast forward now, 3 years later, the new arena will be opening in August. That will be my third year open. So I think that's what mainly made me want to start a store. Being coming back home, opening it with the new Bucks arena and aligning myself with that.
Okay. Can you tell us like your all-time favorite sneaker?
Oh, that's an easy one. My all-time favorite sneaker is the Black Cement 3. Right now, I own 10 to 13 pair of them. They're all in my basement. They're all beat up. I own no other newer releases. They're all old. Not the newer releases, because I would say just the newest release from last year. I don't have any pair of those. I'm going to get into those, but at the moment I only have beaters of the older ones, like 2001 models and the earlier models. I think it was 2013. I know I'm probably wrong about that, but right around that time they released another model. So I got both of those at home. So I love the Black Cement 3.
Wow. Rico, so since you have your business open for 3 years and stuff, can you define like the sneaker world in your own words?
One thing I like to say, the sneaker world, I really like to consider it more like a sneaker marketplace, only because on a daily things change in the sneaker world.
That is true.
So I definitely like to consider it a sneaker marketplace. The only reason I like to consider it that is because just like any other marketplace, which would be like commodities, which would be like fish, oils, different things like that, gasoline, they change. Different things affect them. Could be the weather, could be logistics, could be a store closing, store opening. So that's why I like calling it a sneaker marketplace, and that's why I like being in this marketplace, because if you can kind of predict where the changes are going to be, or kind of play on what the certain things are going to happen around the time of the year, you can make a lot of money around that.
Yeah, that is true. What do you consider the most important facets in this sneaker industry or like the marketplace or whatnot?
The things I consider to be the most important thing in the marketplace nowadays is the people who consume the product, only because they really determine what's hot and what's not. It's not what I like, it's not what the next person may think they like, it's what the average amount of people are coming in asking for. I think a good example would be Yeezys were on the high end, people were begging for them to come in, and then when Off-Whites came out, we had them early, people weren't really sure they were fire, and then when they came out and they exploded and took over the marketplace, people solidified them as being fire, so now we have to have more Off-Whites, which in turn means Nike makes more Off-Whites, which floods the market, which is a good thing for the marketplace.
So can you just give us a time where you had like a stumbling point and then how you kind of like pretty much bounced back?
I'm gonna say I got 3 stumbling points, which I always like to touch on. The first one is when I was opening my website in the beginning, I was renting out my apartment in Nashville. My fiance living with me. I did a lot of stuff out the living room. It was perfect. It was perfect for me. What happened is I got like, let's say like 90 orders in between like a 1 quarter period, which would be 3 months. And in them 90 orders, like 40 of them were fraud. So end up losing like 7 grand. It was a whole big debacle. I wanted to stop the store. I mean, not to stop the store, stop the website, but then I pushed on, persevered through it. That's number 1. Number 2 would be when I first opened the store, the main thing that I had to persevere through was basically building the hype of the store. That is the one thing that I learned, that you don't have to spend money in marketing, because here we spend no money in marketing any of our products. Now, that's a lot. Now we spend a little bit of marketing because we're learning a lot about influencers and things like that. But we're spending a very minimal budget on that. So we like to stay a lot on the free marketing. I learned a lot about that, which I had to persevere about that. And the third thing would be recently, is what I'm learning is that a lot of stuff in this sneaker industry is that you want to provide a service instead of a product, because the more services you can provide, the more money you can make without having to rebuy a product. Sometimes in the sneaker world, it takes so much capital to rebuy stuff that if you don't have the capital, you can't rebuy it to resell it. So sometimes what I'm learning is that you have to have all the revenue streams coming in so that you can go ahead and be able to rebuy and not have to touch your principal capital in the beginning, which is a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. But I'm learning and persevering through that right now, because that's one of the hardest things. And I think that sometimes you have to sit back and sacrifice things that you really want to do or have, because you know that it might not make as much money as fast. Like I love having butters and utility blacks, but they might not move as fast, you know. So if people come in with trade, I'll take a trade instead of having to dump 240, 250 to make $100. And it might move fast, but for that 250, I might be able to buy 5 pair of used shoes, you know. So sometimes you have to really persevere and figure out where you want to place your money. And sometimes when it comes to placing your money, it's just branding, you know. We learn a lot about just branding in of ourselves. Things that we need to do should be branding ourselves more than carrying other brands. Like people want to come in and put their clothing line in Trusted Gallery and Trusted Kicks. I love these people. These are my best friends. My brother has a brand he wants to put in here. I still have to decline him because everything needs to be trusted, because that's how the bills get paid. So, you know, we're learning more things about that. It hurts a lot of souls, it hurts a lot of hearts.
It does, but at times, just like I tell people they want to do consignment, I'm just like, I can't do consignment because I can't do what I want to do with your shoe.
Exactly. You understand totally. And that's the thing, you persevere through that every day. So perseverance is definitely a big thing in the sneaker market every day.
Let everybody know where they can find you.
Okay, everybody, you can find me on Instagram, Trusted_Rico. Also, you can find me on Water Street, 532 North Water Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can find us online at Trusted Kicks. You can find Trusted Gallery at 534 North Water Street, which is right next door to Trusted Kicks. You can also find me at your local club, at your local mall, at your local Bucks game, Brewers game. I love Milwaukee. We will be trying to open a store in Houston coming soon. I know I've been preaching that for like the last year and a half. What I'm learning in that, back to the magazine, is that you got to take your time. Take your time.
All right. We will check it out.